And maybe you're surprised I'm playing this game to people who are already subscribed, but this game is also called Onigiri. Now today I'm going to be making a wand guide for players who are interested in wands and how they work and what they do. Uh, I personally am like a new wand player in the game, so like I'm not like the best, but like I know almost everything about wands. Beside that, there's like a bunch of other players, like really big OP wand players. But let's get it closed up. Um, get some clothes on here. Get this on maybe. All right, so wand. Um, it is very controversial, I think, for this weapon. A lot of people think it's bad. A lot of people think it's like underrated. Everybody has their own opinion on the wand, you know. I, for one, I think wand is really good. Um, it's one of the better classes. It's hands down one of the better classes. Vanguard dependability, you don't need to depend on Vanguards if you're running wand because you can have like all the elements that you need at your disposal. So like no enemy should like pose an issue for you if you're playing wand. Um, Now you start off the game at like level 1, you know, you want to build wand, right? Now in my opinion, best thing you can do is run kind, which will give you mind and wisdom. And your status points you need to allocate as followed. So get 55 dexterity, get around like, look, your dexterity is going to cap at 55, don't get it any higher. Your mind get it to 70, it'll be good, and then you'll be able to cast any ability with the wand, get your mind to 70 so you can cast any ability with the staff, any heal, resurrection 7, all these OP skills, you will cast them without any miss, alright? That's really good. Wisdom 100% because wisdom is going to be the main damage stat for the wand. And then vitality is going to give you a lot of HP. Power is going to give you HP and attack and a little bit of like I think defense, but that's about it. Now these status points they give certain affinity to certain classes. Like this is power goes to sword, odachi, and axe. Vitality goes to spear. Mind, wisdom goes to wand. Mind goes to staff, and dexterity goes to bow and dual swords together. Now, you might like get a little confused by it, but basically it's whatever works for you. I got a little bit of like attack and power and these stuff because I'm very squishy, like very squishy. Sorry, but these are my stats right now as a level 124 wand player. But basically, first thing you need to do is max out your wisdom. No matter what, your wisdom needs to be 100. That's the first step you need to max out. Then get your mind to like around 50, right? Because that's when you're gonna like start allocating points. Get your dexterity to 55, you know, next, and then basically get every other stat to 50, and that will be like when you're like level 100, maybe 10, 115, right? And then you get to like let's say like level 120, and then you can keep allocating into your mind until it's 70, and then you can get up like your power and your vitality, right? So you can have more survivability. You don't die with like 2 hits. Um, a really important part also like just in general I'm giving you the general startup things that I need to do. Make like other characters and go into the XP dungeon and level those up, right? But now that's the general everything just gone out the toilet, like you know you're done. You finished like leveling up like 5 other characters beside your main one, and you get like these residents. Now I need one more. It gives you like 30 storage for every character you level up. So that's really nice. So now, after you've done all of these, you need to go and check something called succession. Now, as a wand player, you need to get Kugai the 478th, right? Now, there is a better one, which I can show you right now. I close this down. I'm gonna put everything like very low. Uh, let's head out of here. And as you can see here, my staff, I have two oogies on it. One for giving me SP and one for giving me speed. So SP is going to be your main stat for like wand because you're going to consume a load of it because wand can spam abilities very fast, and that's why the class is really nice. You'll be able to spam really fast abilities because wand is just way too OP. Like you always have like abilities up that you can use. Other classes struggle with this issue, like for instance Sword, Odachi Act, they struggle a lot with this issue, but with the help of magatamas they can get over it. Now right now it is very easy. Well, the game made it very easy to hit damage cap with like a bunch of other classes, including wand. So like there is no like, oh, this class is insane, this class, they're all great, honestly. You can use whatever you want. Even staff, which is supposed to be a healing class, has really nice attack moves actually, and it's a really good class for just damage in general. Now I will show you right now who's going to be your most important partner to start off the game with. It's going to be Yoshitsune. She's going to be your blacksmith basically. So get her to like level 22 as fast as you can so you can make these weapons that I'm holding called the gargoyle weapons, right? Now those weapons are really OP, but we'll talk about those later because we're not at the point in the video where we're going to talk about those. Now there is something called titles, which this girl Amaterasu grants you. She's the goddess of sun apparently, and she can bestow upon you titles. And the more you level her up, give her presents basically, and level her up, she gives you status points. So that's just extra status points that you can use. Now you can see here there's a lot of titles, a lot of titles. Now you just want to keep leveling her up and skip to like around here. Now this right here, right? This you need to get. Now this is a little bit expensive to new players if they don't have access to status point resets. So if you are working towards this really hard and you want this because it gives you 30 holy element, right? And it gives you 6 mind. So it doesn't give you wisdom like the one that I have. So you have the holy, which can really help out a lot actually against some bosses. So that's a really good addition with that element. So you need to have wisdom of 99 or higher and mind of 99 and higher, right? Now that's debatable, but not with this girl. You'd be like, oh, but why is it like that? I need a status point reset after I'm done with that. You don't. You can max out your wisdom and mind. I'm telling you, that's what I did with my own stats. If you're a little confused, because I need survivability against certain bosses that I'm be doing right now in the story, because I get 2-shotted, 3-shotted, and it's really bad. So this helps me out a lot. Just those stats that I added. Now get these and get this one. It's really nice because of the holy element. That's all I would say. Or get the one that I have if you just want to run with the stuff that I'm running with. Now, the next one, we talked about Yoshitsune. She's your blacksmith. She takes care of all the weapons, ornamentations, basically anything that includes weaponry, she will take care of. Weapon enhancement, weapon smelting, getting these weapons up to max level, which is 100. Your next one is going to be Kaguya. Now, Kaguya is your magatama freak. She's like a nerd, a magatama freak. She will help you craft magatamas, ornamentate magatamas, remove ornamentation, dissolve, and that's going to be her job during out the story. Now, if you're a new player, that's going to be overwhelming as hell. You're like, what the frick are these, man? I don't know what the hell these do. Crafting, of course, is very self-explanatory. You craft them. Ornamentation, you can give them certain bonuses. Like for an instance, I have, let's say, this Soaring Peak Magatama. It has a Faded Contractor. I get 8 critical. Now I can go like down here, and I can keep scrolling down, with these ornamentations. It's a little iffy, but keep scrolling. See? You can ornamentate a lot of stuff. You can give them like elements, you can give them certain chances and stuff. Wisdom, impact, critical force, there's a lot of options, right? It's big options. And you can get crit, HP, SP, so don't think you're limited because this girl can like really help you get really good. Now your main ornamentations are going to be fitted contractor and whatchamacallit, and unblinking guy. So those are going to be your main things that you want to be working on. Crit force and critical hit. Now, moving way too fast, but I'm just giving you a general idea about all the partners, and then we're going to start talking about how you progress with your wand. Alright, there is level requirements for every wand in the game, and not just any wand, any weapon in general. So you want to start off, you want to go to Moroku, right? This is your startup as a wand player and any player in the game. These are just general things. You talk to Moroku, you go to buy, after you unlock him, and then you keep rolling down, and you will see there's a lot of magatamas and weapon. You want to go and you want to grab the sunrise. You're going to grab 3 sunrise wands, and then you want to grab a sunrise staff, which he has. Uh, it's right here. Sunrise staff, 3 wands and 1 staff. That should be your loadout at all times. And then you want to go and you want to buy these magatamas. If it would show them. Magatama 1, Magatama 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and then you have 100 million, which is the highest that you can get. Now, these Magatamas will help you be like a really good beginner player. Like it will carry you through story hands down, and then you're gonna get like to a level when you level up your Morocco a little bit more, and he's gonna be able to give you these myriad weapons, and those give some pretty chunky bonuses. Now the gargoyles are better, hands down. Once you get your gargoyle weapons, they're much better. But those are from wardings. We'll talk about that later. Now the main damaging stat in this game is skill force. Skill force is the stat that basically like makes you do a lot of damage. It's like skill amplifying if you would like to think about it like that. So this Magatama gives you defense, P defense, which is physical defense, and M defense, which is magical defense. And the higher those stats, the less damage you take. Now, this Magatama will give you 50 skill force, right? But it will take 70 chakra. And here you have to be smart. So right now, I have 160 chakra at level 160. It can go more because also when you level up Amaterasu, you get more chakra. So it's really important to level up Amaterasu. Really important. I can't even stress that enough. Super important. Let me just. Alright. Dr. Moroku got the weapons, 3 wands, 1 staff, got Magatama 10, went to XP dungeon. Farmed the XP dungeon to like level 115, right? There you go. Now you can go out and start doing story until you can get to a level where you feel like, hey, I can start doing stuff now, right? Farm a couple of your other magatamas from field bosses. Kill field bosses, they will drop you magatamas for your class. Not 100% guaranteed, but it will, right? There's this chance that it will, alright? Now, um, You got your mags, you got your weapon, farm field bosses, got a couple of extra magatamas so you can fit in with the magatama 10 or magatama 1000 or 10,000, right? You put those in with a couple of other one magatamas, and there you go. You'll have some really nice skill force to work with at the start. Your next step is try as hard as you can to get at least one gargoyle weapon. Get a gargoyle weapon, max it out, and work your way from there. Now, they're all elemental weapons. So for an instance, you have Thunder Finger that will give you lightning and mountain, Flame Finger that will give you fire and wind, Ice Finger that will give you ice and rain. Now, these are like your beginner, hey, I'm gonna step into mid game now, you know? These are your carries into mid game. And then you get OP weapons, like this for an instance. This is an event weapon. Alright? And look at the difference it gives you. 15,000 more attack and more SP, but it takes away from your crit. Now, this is where you start seeing, like, there's a big jump, power-wise, right? And you start to be like, well, how am I going to farm these weapons? They're going to take for a long time. Now, this game is a grindy game. So I'm going to say it right now, if you don't want to grind, like for a month to get a weapon, or a month and a half to get a weapon, this is not the game for you, right? But if you're willing to, this is the game for you. Now, I was lucky enough to start in like 1 month before this event. So, you see here, we have Wand of Ascension plus 100. I maxed it out, and now I'm just building my way up in the XP dungeon to get to level 125 so I can use the weapon. Okay? So, if you don't have the luxury of an event like this, I'm just giving you worst case scenario, by the way, because if there's an event, you might as well just do the event if there's OP weapons like these, and let people carry you on hell mode in the event and just collect points and get an OP weapon or an OP magatama, right? Now, the wand in every class in the game has special class magatamas that you will be able to encounter during your time playing the game. Now, for one, they're called the talon breakers. Now, the talon breaker magatama is basically your class magatama. It depends on lower HP, so the lower HP you have, the more damage you're going to be dealing, okay? Now, this is the base one. You make it with getting a Lord Renge, a Magic Magatama, and an Eigetsu Magatama. Now, Lord Renge you will get from farming field bosses. Eigetsu you get it from farming field bosses as well, I think, but you can farm it in certain other area, like for an instance, some pipes will drop it in Edo once you get there. Um, Also, you have some certain dungeons that would drop it, like for an instance, you can go and you can do some islands. You can go and you can do some passive rain, but if you want to get Eigetsus, that's why Wand is a little annoying to work with, because these kind of Magatamas are rare drops, honestly. Like, it's just annoying. But the places that you know, like, we know where they're gonna drop any of the islands, you're gonna have Honor Island, and you're gonna have Dew Creek, you're gonna have Mountain of Thorns, you're gonna have Oni Matatabi Island, and Palace of Rain. Now, Palace of Rain is on the moon, right? Once you get to the Palace of Rain, try to find a carry, because it's very freaking hard to run, bro. It's insanely hard to run. Really hard dungeon, so you need some help. And people in the game are really nice, so they would help you. You got your Eigetsu, you got your Magic Magatama, and your Lord Renge. Your Magic Magatama, my recommendation is you're gonna farm this in Kusatsu in a dungeon called Azami Crossing. Azami Crossing is a dungeon that you go out in the fields of Kusatsu. It's going to be on the left. You're not going to miss it if you do the story and you follow up with the names of the places. You're going to get this from Azami Crossing or Wara Bazooka. My recommendation is Azami Crossing, because you can get weapons for your partners as well, which I'm not going to talk about in this video. Lord Renge, you can get this. I told you, field bosses. I killed field bosses. It dropped to me from the wheel in Sekigahara. Another one also dropped to me from the field boss in Kumaso Village Plains and Yamataikoku Plains. The guy with the ogre with the big eye, Yagyu-san, I believe his name is. And then you need to get Scarlet Gems and Myrtle Gems. Now these you can get in Ushu Highway and above, area-wise, but it's mostly better to get them in Ushu Highway. Now, Myrtle Gems, you can go and farm Mine of Delusions, which will be two birds with one stone. To get this recipe, you need to do Mine of Delusions in Ushu Highway. You get the recipe in Ushu Highway and you farm for Myrtle Gems at the same time. The boss in that area is weak to the wind element, so if you have wind, like Kamaitachi or Tornado, use those skills on your weapon. Now, you got your Myrtles. Now, how do you get the Scarlet? Scarlet will drop randomly, but I think the best way that I found to farm Scarlets is Bokyaku Mine. That's going to be inside of Ushu Highway. It's not going to be in the plains. It's going to be in the startup area. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh god, with the sneezing today. Good thing I have a mic mute button. Alright. Now, you got your Scarlet Gun Myrtle. Made your 105 Magatama. Hooray to you. But your Kaguya needs to be at level 22. So that's another thing that you need to do. Um, you got your Kaguya to 22. You made your Magatama. Now, the next version is going to be the Fused. Now, the Fused will require a Talon Breaker Magatama, a Usu Getsu Magatama, which will drop from Palace of Rain, Lacus Mortis. You're mostly going to be farming Akatsuki Yamis and Nubatamas also because you need those. Akatsuki Yami will drop from Lacus Mortis on the moon. It's a dungeon on the moon. Nubatamas will drop from Dew Creek. It's also a dungeon on the moon. And this Talon Breaker, as you saw here, we can make it in order to evolve it into the next version, which is the Talon Breaker Fused. Now the reason it says Fused is because you see it's infused with other Magatamas and stuff. Now these Magatamas you can never don't equip them because you're gonna waste a shitload of chakra and they don't even help. They're trash. So these you just want to get and save in your inventory to make your Fused. And then you're gonna need one ivory, two obsidian, one lunar spirit seal, which is probably the rarest drop in the game. It drops from Lunar Spirit Kaguya in Palace of Rain. So Palace of Rain is also the place where you get your wand fused recipe. So you can go there and farm it and chill with people, and you can get a Lunar Spirit Seal. Or you can do Oni mode, and you have the chance of getting Lunar Spirit Seals. Now I did Oni mode with a bunch of cool players on PS4, and they helped me a lot, and I got a Lunar Spirit Seal. I got 4 now, as you can see, and you need 1 for each fused, and it's very annoying because it's a very rare drop. Like it's like I don't know, like 1% or some dumb shit like that, maybe lower than 1%. But yeah, so you want to use a drop boost on the boss, so maybe you have a chance of getting the Lunar Spirit Seal. Maybe you can do Oni mode and you can get lucky. You need Wandering Spirit, which will drop from clearing Lacus Mortis. Yep, Lacus Mortis is probably the most annoying dungeon on the moon, just because of the solely lag, and it's just a big irritating dungeon, hands down. Like it's dumb. It's a dumb dungeon. And then you need Winter Moondew, which yes drops from Dew Creek. Blueprints drop from Benkei Factory, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure blueprints drop from Benkei Factory. Well, that's it for the fused. I think that's how you get all the jobs. And the obsidians, the ivory obsidian, those 2 gems, you can get them. They drop on the moon fairly often, so if you run like Palace of Rain, you should be able to get these. But basically, you need to farm like all the moon dungeons in order to be able to make the fused. Now, Wandering Spirit is one of the most annoying drops because Lacus Mortis is a really annoying dungeon. I'm not going to spoil it, but once you get to the boss room, you'll see. Now your next version, which I don't have, because it's a very, very rare magatama to obtain. It's like a high-end. This is like an end-game magatama, the one that I'm going to be listing right now. It's called the Talon Breaker Magatama Tempest. Now, it is a level requirement of 128, so it's a big jump from the 117 on the fused. The chakra consumption is going to be 55, so it's an extra 5 chakra, but it's worth it. It's very worth it. So as you can see here with the fused, you get 70% skill force, and if under remaining HP 50%, which is saying if your HP is under 50%, you get an extra 50% skill force. So it gives you 120 if you're like 49% HP. It gives you Dark Element, plus 30, minus 30 Holy, minus 15 Holy, and then gives you plus 15 Fire, and it gives you minus 10 Rain, with 20 Critical Force and 10 cooldown cut. Now the Tempest is a big dumb jump. It's unreal how much freaking skill force you get from that Magatama. You get, it says rank 5 plus 1 skill force 120. If under 50 HP, you get another extra 50. So 170 skill force from each Tempest Magatama if you're under 50%. And now you get like how much? You get like 120 from the fused. So the Tempest is already like 50% skill force more. Now the element it gives you also is insane. It gives you 50 dark, 30 fire, but it takes away from your it takes away 30 holy, and it takes away 20 rain. But it gives you 30 critical force and 15 cooldown reduction. And if you level 130 or more, you get 2500 attack. Now that attack will really carry you, like honestly, it's really dumb because it will raise your base stat. Your base damage stat will help you out a lot. So getting the Tempest is not a bad option at all. It's gonna take like a month and a half to get it, but it's very worth it if you are gonna farm and you actually gonna like put time into it. So it's really worth it. The drop comes from Purity Space Shootin' Doji. Now, Purity Space is a dungeon that everybody will be farming as an endgame player if they're genuinely gonna just go and farm their recipe. And that dungeon is in Kyoto because once you get to the moon, you start backtracking up to the older areas, and there's gonna be really OP dungeons in there, right? So you have to be ready. You need to at least have like one fused, at least one fused. So have like 205s and a fused, and put like Lord Renge or Lord Shoko or something, like to fill up these chakra slots, right? And I expect you to be like level 120 plus if you're gonna do these dungeons. So you actually have like enough chakra for magatamas. Now the Tempest is gonna be annoying as fuck to make. All right, I have to be honest because you're gonna need to make two other fuses beside the fuse that you made for your wand. So you need to make a Skyrending Magatama fused, which is the sword fused, and you need to make a Dancing Water Magatama fused. Now they're all the same. The only difference is these three Magatamas. They're just gonna be different drops. And this one, you need to go and get the normal Skyrending, normal Dancing Water, make them into fused. So it's a long process. And then you need 150 Heavenly Marbles, 100 Earthen Marbles, which you can farm in the Kyoto dungeons that you're gonna get later, really OP ones. Then you need to get the Turquoise Timber Seedling 50, Horn Sculptures 50, Seedling of Calamity 30, Radiant Spine 20, Tea of Eternal Night 10, and 3 Fallen Crosses. Now, the Turquoise Timber Seedling, you can get that from the Arcane Dungeons in Yamatekoku Underground Cavern when you backtrack. Horned Sculptures from Eldritch Beast in the Wardings from Chifuri. Seedling of Calamity, I believe you get that from Logos Aramin. If I'm not, yeah, you get it from Logos Aramin. And then you have, if I can see here on the wiki, so I give you the actual like right information. Radiant Spine, you can get that from Tiamat, I think. Blitz Tiamat. Yes, you get it from Blitz Tiamat. And the last drop that you're gonna get, if this wiki stops giving me ads, oh god. Yes. Teal of Eternal Night. You need to get 10 of those. Now, it doesn't give you an actual drop place for it, so I don't know how it drops or where it drops from, right? Actually, never mind. It drops from the Abyss Gargoyle. So you need to do Abyss Gargoyle in order to get to Eternal Knights. You need 10 of those. And Fallen Crosses, you need 3. You get those from Lucifer. Now you can farm Lucifer for free. Same for Abyss. It's just gonna take a little bit while because you need to farm other dungeons in order to unlock the fight to those bosses. I'm gonna sneeze again. Alright, I'm back. So, Magatamas are out of the way. Magatamas are your main damage dealing tool in this game. You don't have good Magatamas, your damage is going to be shit. So these are your engine basically. The Magatamas are the engine. You don't have the engine, you can't run your character right. You're not going to deal damage, you're going to suck. Alright? So just focus on Magatamas once you get to like level 105. You know, like you're going to be 115 from XP Dungeon, but once you're done from XP Dungeon from your story, get to the moon, right? Get some help from people, farm your 105s, and you're gonna play with those for a while until you're able to get your fused. You get 3 fused, and then after that, you start working on your tempest, and that's gonna be a long jump because it's gonna be an end game jump. So you, at that point, when you're making your fused, you're supposed to be knowing almost everything about your wand class. All right. So weapons. Weapons are the next step into damage. If you have a bad weapon, you're not going to be able to do damage. Now, beside having the main stat of attack on the weapon, you also need to know that your wand, and that wand is very reliant on element. Now, the reason why wand is very, very OP is because element-wise, the wand is probably one of the strongest classes. It has all the elements needed. It has dark, it has holy, it has fire, it has mountain, it has rain. What else can I say? Wind. It just doesn't have flight, but it also has poison. So the wand has every single element that you might think you need in this game. That's why it's very strong, because the wand is built like this. If you have the right weapon that gives you the right element that the boss is weak to, then you're going to be doing a lot of damage. And the more element you have, the more damage you can deal against that boss. Now for once, I have 200 something element of the mountain because of this event that we have right now, the Soaring Peak Magatamas. But we're not going to talk about events, I'm talking in general. No events, nothing. This is how you're going to start farming your game, how are you going to progress and do a lot of damage against these bosses. Now, you're going to get minus rain and minus holy from your magatama, your 105, your fused, and your tempest. So holy and water, fuck no, yeah, and water are going to be a little reluctant. They're not going to be as good. That's why you get that whatchamacallit, that title from Amaterasu. It really helps out a lot. And if you get certain magatamas that boost your holy damage, that will help you out a lot. So you're not going to be running like fused and tempests all the time. You're going to switch because there are going to be events along the way. But if there's no events, your strongest elements are going to be dark and fire. Now, weapons. Let's start. Enough bullshitting. So how are you going to start making weapons and improving yourself? Now, gargoyles. Some people will be like, well, man, I don't have good enough weapons to kill these, bro. Like, how are you going to get them? These sunrise and these myriads are not cutting it. You know what I mean? Start off small. Build a cross from Satan. Now, Satan is a boss in this game. You get him by doing Edo. He's going to be the boss of Edo. Well, you finish him, and he's not going to be the final boss. You're going to finish a boss after him called the Elder. So you kill Satan, you kill the Elder, you get out of Edo. But Satan is the place where everybody goes to farm like these early weapons so they can like improve and stuff. Now, farming a cross is really not a bad idea. Get the cross to 70 or 100, you know, whatever makes you feel like, hey, now I can start killing a gargoyle. Now, the cross will give you lightning and dark and 24 wisdom, so it will boost your wisdom drastically, like very, very drastically. As you can see, 24 is like, it's not a number to be like messed with, it's very big. And it gives you an oogie, and it's a ranged oogie, so it's not bad. Lightning element will help you out a lot because then you can start farming the sleet, which is the ice gargoyle, the ice and rain gargoyle. You farm him with lightning. He's weak to lightning and mountain, I believe, yes. And this weapon will help boost that lightning stat for you. So you can give it like lightning shot. You can give it for oogies if you want. You have, what was it if I remember? A mountain oogie, like weight of the earth, because it gives you, sorry, not mountain, I'm dumb. A lightning oogie. Let me see if we have lightning oogies. I forgot. I'm dumb, sorry. So if we go to skill cards here, uh, oogies, oogies, oogies. Let's see. Wand, Crimson Ray. Dun -dun. Weight of the Earth. Yes, Gargoyle Thunderlance. You can equip that, and you can use it as a electric oogie. Or, you know, if you have other ones, even if you don't have any electric oogies, put in Mountain because the Sleet is going to be weak to Mountain. So, you fight him with the elements that he's weak to, Mountain, Lightning, and you beat the shit out of him. You got your Gravitas Cross to level, let's say, here we go, level 100. If I can find it. Oh my god. If I can find it. The Gravitas Cross, yes. Get this to like level 100 approximately. You're gonna use that later to make your Lucifer weapon, but we're not gonna just skip to Lucifer weapons, right? We're gonna see what we need to do in order to be able to like get really powerful without feeling like, hey, we're getting our ass slapped in here. So you got your cross, you got your rhyme, right? Where's the rhyme? It is right around here. Yep, there we go. That's the rhyme. So the rhyme, it will start off as a 5,000 to 5,500 base. Alright? And that's at grade 0. So once you get to grade 100, it might start at like 7k or something. It gives you Oogie Ice Blast Embers, which is not a bad Oogie if you're a beginner player. It will definitely help you, but it's gonna feel like shit once you get to higher places. So this Oogie is like, not really good, you know, not really good. Not at all. It doesn't work as nicely as you would want it. All right. So you got the rhyme. Next step is going to be getting the Nova, which is your like spam weapon, right? Now what you want to put on the rhyme is Ice Shot, Icicle Dance. You can put on Arrow Flock. So anything rain and ice, or just rain or ice, you know, in general, just put it on there. Use those. You can put on a ice lance as well. You know, you have options to run with basically. Where is your Nova? If I can find it. Yes. Then you go and you're like, okay, time to get my Nova. Same thing with base attack. Starts almost the same way, but it just depends on what grade you get them and how did the upgrades go with Yoshitsune. You get your Nova and you put on your Nova, of course, 3 fireballs, 7, 6, and 5, or just 7, 5, 5. You know, if you can't have, if you don't have enough skills, you know, like run maybe 2 fireballs and something else, just to give you that fire element that you need. Gives you fire and wind, so you can also run it with wind element if you want to. So you can run Kamaitachi or Tornado. And for your Oogie, you can run something like, whatchamacallit, Crimson Ray, which will really help you out a lot. There's other Oogies like Fujin Raijin. So yeah, you have options to run with this weapon. So you got your Nova. Your next step is going to be your Levelance, your Storm. You get your Storm. Same thing. It's gonna be Lightning and Mountain. So you can put like as long just like the cross, like 3 lightning shots or Earth Glaive. You can put on Weight of the Earth. You can put on Thunderlance. So you have options to roll with this weapon as well, which is really really cool. Now you got your gargoyles. Your next step is going to be a jump, man. It's gonna be a big big jump for you as a player. You're gonna start to work on really hard to farm weapons. Now the least demanding one out of those is going to be the Dragon Arc. Now Dragon Arcs, I don't have any of them because I'm not gonna farm them personally because I got a really OP 125 weapon. But if you don't have these kind of luxuries, you can go and you can farm Dragon Arcs. Now Dragon Arcs come, it's very different how they come. They have like certain elements. Like each Dragon Arc has like, let's say, lightning and water, but the Dragon Arcs give you bonus damage. So like if you crit, there's a 20% chance that you can do double damage with that skill, right? So those weapons are going to be like also really really cool because you can fuse all three together to make a really OP dark weapon, a really OP dark wand. So I'm not gonna go into Dragon Arcs now because I think the time you get your gargoyles, you're gonna be able to learn about Dragon Arcs very very fast. So those are really easy to learn. Now I'm gonna talk to you about the weapons that like are gonna go with you to like really really end game, like the Night Sky, the Chaos Pupil. You have your also elsin. You have um, whatchamacallit, if I remember, Falling Star, Reverence, Supreme. We'll talk about all of these today. Now, you got your Night Sky, which is the fusion of all three Dragon Arcs into one freaking wand that has dark element, including other elements like 15 lightning, 15 water, I don't know, stuff like that. Like it has like a lot of bonus other elements, but usually you use it for dark element, which is very like whatchamacallit, which is like it's the base damage that it will give you. It give you a lot of dark elements. So if I search it up here on the wiki, go here on the wiki, search up the Night Sky. It's gonna take a little time just to pull it up and stuff. Alright, if I can pull it up. Yes. Alright, so as wands, we are gonna get the Dragon Arc, Daten Ryu Sky Limits. So the Sky Limit is going to give you a bonus of 2 damage is dealt depending on the value of dark element during a critical hit at a rate of 20%. So, when you hit with dark element with that weapon, there is a 20% chance every time you crit, you're gonna do double damage, or you're gonna be able to break the damage cap basically. It gives you 30 dark, 15 fire, 15 lightning, 15 rain, 15 wind, minus 30 holy. Rank 6 plus 1 skill force plus 15%. If you have 120 or more wisdom, you get an extra 40 dark element. So that is already like 70 dark element, okay? Now here's the downfall of this weapon. If you go under 50 HP, right? This weapon will take 50% away from your base attack. And this weapon is not bad. It starts off at like 7,000 attack, so it's really good. It can probably go up to like 20k attack, I think, for the wand. So it's really nice. It's a really really OP weapon, and the level requirement is 115. So it's not big, It's not a big requirement for a level. And it's gonna take a shitload of time to farm it because you need all 3 other dragon arcs at like level 30, right? And you're gonna need to get like some drops from them. But if you already got each one at 30, you must have already farmed the shit out of those dungeons. So that's it's gonna be pretty pretty big farm, and that's gonna when you're gonna start feeling like, oh, the game is giving you something to farm for that's very big. It's gonna take you like, if you have the energy restores, it's gonna take you like maybe a week. If you don't have the energy restores, it's gonna take you like a month or 2 months, depending on what events come in. If there's no events, it's gonna take you a month to 2 months. It's gonna be very annoying. And I'm talking like free to play. You haven't spent a dime on the game. But if you spent money on the game, this could go a lot faster. All right. So you got your night sky, dark weapon. What's your next step? Your next step is getting your holy weapon. Now, you can get the elsin, or you can go and get your wand from Lancelot. You can get your Reverence 3 wand. Now, the Reverence 3, those weapons are event weapons, but they're still in the game as just weapons that you can get at any time. So, it's going to be another energy heavy farm. So if you don't want to farm and use your energy, you can go and get your elsin and use that as a holy weapon. Now, Lancelot will require you to do a shitload of dungeons in order to get her weapon, and they're all energy consumption dungeons, so it's going to take you like also another like month and a half of farming because you don't have the energy restores, and it's just going to be fucking annoying. All right. Now, if you want the non-energy version, which is going to be your elsin, but it's going to cost you a fused magatama. So if you don't want to waste a fuse and you'd rather just go and use your energy to get the Reverence 3 from Lancelot, by all means go for it. Now I'll read to you the differences between those. Let me just find the Reverence 3 on the wiki, so I can give you the difference. Let's see, stuff. Yep, there we go. I'm just trying to pull up the actual stats of the thing. Alright, if I can do that. Alright, so Reverence 3. The weapon is going to be a level requirement of 125, which the elsin is a 123 weapon, I think. Sorry. Check the elsin. Is that 120? Yeah, I think. 1 second. I'm blind. Oh, okay. So the elsin is 5 levels lower requirement than the reverence. So it's gonna be like a little bit, closer to you. So you're not forced to go to 125. So that's also something that's gonna cost you energy for Lancelot, is you need to be 125. Now, the elsin starts at 6,000 to 7,000, between those two numbers at base. Lancelot starts between 8,500 and 9,500. So you can see like there's a 3,000 damage increase, or 2,000 damage increase on base, which is pretty big, pretty chunky. If I can see this. Alright. Now, here's why Lancelot weapons is a little shitty. It forces you to get your power stat up to 120 or more. It says, if power 120 or more, attack plus 1500. If level 128 or more, attack plus 10%. You get 50 pierce, 50 holy, 50 rain, minus 45 slice, minus 45 dark, minus 45 lightning. You get 70% skill force for 5 and plus 1 skills. Well, rank 5 and plus 1 skills get 70% skill force, 30% max SP, and minus 15% HP. And if you're under 35% HP, you are going to lose 35% attack. And it increases durability consumption by 20%. Now, the weapon, we're going to talk if it's better. Yes, the Reverence 3 is hands down better than the elsin. Is the elsin a OP weapon? Yes. Is it easier to farm than Lancelot? Yes. Um, is it usable end game? Yes, it is very much usable. You can use it end game. It's a really good weapon. It gives you holy. Uh, Let me also think about it. Now here's the difference that comes with the elsin though, right? As you can see here, let me just sit on my chair. Oh God. Okay, where's my phone? Sit on my chair. Okay. A bonus of 2 damage is dealt depending on the value of lightning element during critical hit at a 20%. Now it's retarded, so it works for both elements. So this should be also like holy, but whatever. And ignore the damage cap cannot be exceeded. That's a lie. It can 100% be exceeded. Um, Lightning element plus 40, holy element plus 60. So you can run like lightning shot, bright homing. I would usually use this as a holy weapon because it can help you start farming other stuff like Logos Aramen, which is going to be your next step after this weapon. 40 lightning, 60 holy. You run it with, in my opinion, I think you should do 3 bright homings and a God Sealing Circle or a Thunder Lance or any Thunder Oogie basically. Any light or Thunder Oogie. Any one of those, any holy or thunder would work. Now, it gives you minus 30 mountain, minus 40 dark, so you don't want to run mountain or dark on it. So yeah, just don't do that. You get 45% skill force if you're under 15% HP, and if you're over 85% HP, 45. So don't focus on these, okay? Because wand is very squishy, so you're gonna eat a hit and you're gonna go down 85%. All right, so it's not gonna matter as much. But the weapon gives you a lot of nice element, and it's you can very much run it while you're doing a lot of damage. Cause come on, like a level 120 weapon, it goes up I think to like I don't know like 20k, 20k, 22k, something like that. So it's really good base attack. So this after you get this, you're gonna get your Logos Armament. But what you need for it is the El Gravitas. You need the cross at 50. You need the Kurikari Oken, Severance 50. You get those from the Suiyu and Suijaku weapons. If you identify them, you have a chance to get these. The Garborg, I think there's a recipe for it. Let me search it up on the wiki to show you to see where it drops. Garborg. Let's see that. Alright. It's a level 105 wand, so it's not a veteran weapon. The recipe drops from Hibia Sewers. So you need to farm Hibia Sewers, normal and hard, and hell, 1 to 5 players. So if you farm, you just farm hell from 1 to 5 players. To craft it, you need the Bryonic at plus 20, and it's level 45 wand, and you can get it from Kyokotsu's lair in Kyoto, or I think you should just farm Kyokotsu's lair. Honestly, it's you get um you get bones. Sinister bones. Yeah, you get sinister bones, and it could also be bought from Moroku at negotiation 4. He can bring it. That wand that you need, the Bryonic. So if you get any Bryonics along the way doing story, keep that. You're gonna need it later on. All right. So you need 2 of it. All right. You need 2. You need 2 of it, or you can just farm like a shitload of them. So you never use artisan swords on the Garborg and just get it to plus 50 by making a shitload of it. The Severance is gonna be you know it drops from the whatchamacallit, the Suiyu and Suijaku, as I talked to you about here. So let me search it up. So you guys have a general idea, like a much better idea on how you can get this weapon. Kurikara Ryu Oken and search. Alright. So The Severance. How do you get the Severance version? Okay. So, it's a requirement of 1/8. It gives you Dark and Mountain, and it's actually not a bad one if you want to use it. Like it's a good beginner one if you want to use it just to have it there. But I wouldn't recommend doing that because you're gonna be wasting resources anyways. So you recipe drop from Anra Island, Manjuka Island, and Puppet. Drops from Puppet Darumas basically. You need to farm those to get the recipe for the Severance, which, as you can see, I don't think I have it. If I scroll here to show, yeah, I don't have it. So you need to farm Hibia sewers, and you need to farm either Anra or Manjuka Island. From 1 to 5 players on all difficulties, so you should have no issue farming that. The more people though, it's better because you can have more of those little Darumas and just farm them honestly. The way to farm that, you need to go get the Korikar Yuken, which can be identified from the Suyu and the Soijaku weapons. You also need one Cerulean Gem and one Scarlet Gem. So these are the requirements to make the El Gravitas. You also need 50 Thunder and 50 Light. You need 3 Ceruleans, 1 White Plum, 3 Scarlets, 3 Myrtles, 1 Ivory, and 1 Obsidian. Now, the weapons, if you don't want to sit here and watch the video and tell you where to get them from, you can always go to the wiki. Here, I'm gonna hover over them for a little bit so you can see the names and pause here. Alright, so you can just go to the wiki, search up those names, and it will tell you exactly where to get them and where and how many players need to be in the party. Now the elsin. As always, I'm just gonna keep doing this to the rest of the video. I'm gonna hover, you look it up, see where you can get it from. If you have issues, because I am also a wiki player, so everything that I'm telling you right now I collected from players and the wiki, so I'm giving you 50-50 experience here. You need the El Gravitas at plus 50, which pretty easy, no issues with that. It's just gonna take a little time to grab the El Gravitas. Now the Elsin, you need the Schneitzer Garborg, which is your veteran weapon. You get that from you get a quest in Tanigashima from this old man in the little hut, and you can go and get a veteran weapon. And once you get a veteran weapon, there's a random chance that it will be a wand. So in my opinion, just collect 10 of them and just identify them, and you're probably gonna get a guaranteed wand, I think. I need a fused magatama, so we already talked about how we make it fused. You need 100 thunder and 100 light. 3 pure white plums, 2 fallen crosses, 3 ivories, 3 obsidian, 1 wandering spirit, 1 elixir of immortality, and 1 winter moon dew. Elixir of immortality, palace of rain, reward up. Winter moon dew, dew creek, reward up. Wandering spirit, lacus mortis, reward up. Obsidian, and ivory moon, or Ushu Highway, depending on which ones you want to farm. Fallen Cross, Lucifer, Pure White Plums, Lucifer, Light and Thunder, Wardings, or just farm them out in the fields, or collect stone baskets, but those are the options you have for those. And yeah, that's it for the El Gravitas Sin. Now moving on, we're gonna go to the for the annoying ones. Yes, the really annoying ones. Very, very annoying. The Rufu Evil Eye Wand. Now, these weapons, my guys, are going to be very irritating for the sole reason that they're very freaking hard. This weapon is gonna take you forever to get. Forever. And I'm being serious. This will take you forever. Seriously. No joke. So for the normal Rufu Evil Wand, you need to get 10 disease seedlings and an Onidachi. You can craft Onidachi from Yoshitsune. It's an Odachi, as you can see. You need to get it at plus 50. So you can make as many as you want from it. But before we start, I want to show you what drops you need to be keeping throughout the whole story, alright? These drops, I keep them because it's going to help you. Find the Onidachi. There you go. So, You need Sinister Bones, Cotton Strip, Shell Fragment, Daruma Pipe, and Daruma Fragment. Alright? Gloom Daruma Fragment, especially. So keep all of these. Whenever you get them, slot them in your inventory, because you're going to need Onidachi for a lot of things. It's a base for a lot of weapons, honestly. So, yeah, just keep collecting these materials and put them in your inventory or your storage with Shizuka or whatever you want to do, but just save those. Alright. Now, next. Yeah. Going back to the Rufu Evil Wand. You got your Onidachi plus 50. The Z Seedling, you can get this from Logos Araman Warding on normal. Black Mouse Scales, you can farm this in Yakumo Shrine or Yakumo Temple, whatever you want to call it, in Kyoto on Hell Mode. Grey Apple draws from also the Yakumo Temple or Yakumo Shrine in Kyoto. And both Blackmouth and Grey Apple drop from the same boss, the Logos. The Logos Iron Man is a stronger version of Logos. He's in the wardings at Shifuri. You get these from him, the Disease Seedlings, on normal mode only. Black Mouse Scales, Grey Apple, Kyoto. And Aidamas, just do wardings and you'll get them randomly. And there's also, if you do daily stone dungeons, you're gonna get these. You're gonna get a shitload. So use like a drop boost and go in and farm stones. If you're like rushing the hell out of the weapon, do that. Now your next version is going to be the Rufu Evil Eye Wand Pupil. Now here's why this weapon is annoying. There's so many artisan swords are gonna go into it. Honestly, it's freaking dumb. So you get your Rufu Evil Eye Wand to plus 70. Never make multiple copies. It's gonna take you forever and you're gonna waste energy and time. It's bad, alright? Just save artisan swords and start working on this weapon whenever you can. Disease Seedling, you need 30, so we already wasted 30, right? I mean, sorry, we already wasted 10, so that's 40 Disease Seedlings already wasted, alright? You need 45 Gloom Prophecy. Okay, that's from the hard mode of Logos Araman. So you farm those, you get them from him, and you're good to go. And then you need 50 Black Mouse Scales. So if you go back to this other one, we have used 30, so now we need 50, which means 80 Black Mouse Scales, right? So that's already like 80 runs of the Yakumo Shrine or whatever. And the runs, like, it's gonna take a while, man. Like, it's not easy. It's gonna take a while. 30 gray apples. Go back to the normal one. You already used 10, so you need 40 gray apples, alright? And 150 Aidamas. Now, this is from the hard mode, Logos Araman warding, normal Logos Araman warding, Black Mouse Scales, and Grey Apple, Yakumo, or Yakumo Shrine or Yakumo Temple in Kyoto, whatever name you want to call it. And 150 Aidamas, and if you go back to normal one, we already wasted 20, so 170 Aidamas. Now, the big boy, the big boy. Now, as you can see, this is like a level 115, so it's already not a bad wand. You can literally use this for a really long time. So if you make your pupil, you can use this for a long ass time before you get the Chaos Pupil. Now, Chaos Pupil is a level 123 weapon, and it's a fucking annoying weapon to get because you also need the Pupil Axe on plus 50. Alright, so that's very fun. You need Seedling of Calamity 77. Now the Seedlings of Calamity, they are gonna only be dropped from the Hell mode of Logos Araman. He's very weak to Holy and Mountain, so you're gonna use your elsin to beat the boss to death. And there's gonna be two bosses on Hell mode. On hard, normal and hard, there's only one eyeball, which is just one boss. On Hell mode, there's going to be two. So when you enter the dungeon, do not aggro the second boss until the first one is dead. Also, his attack pattern is pretty easy to identify, so you shouldn't die. You know, you shouldn't get hit unless you're like me and you just fucking love the lag in this game. So 77, Sealing of Calamity. So you need to farm Hell mode more than 77 times because sometimes he doesn't even give you the drop. Yes, you heard it. You also need 10 Disease Seedlings, so go back to the normal one, that's 10, it's 20, 50. So you need 50 Disease Seedlings in general. You need another 30 Gloom Prophecies, so that is 75 Gloom Prophecies that you need to get. And you need 99 Black Mouse Scales. Yes, and you have already farmed 30 for the normal one, 50 for the hard one, and now 99 for this. So you need 179 black mouse scales. Now, here's where it gets fun. You need 77 gray apples. You already farmed 10 here. You already farmed 30 here, so that is how much? 40. And then you need to get 77 of them. So that is 117 gray apples. And that's a rare drop. Then 550 idamas and 300 dark stones. So I would say whenever weekly comes in with the stones, just farm darkstone weekly and get both of these, and just basically just make use of your boost onto that 1 hour and get these stones and be done with it. So it's gonna be a load as a farm. Now the axe, right? The pupil, it's gonna be the same requirement for the Rufu wand and the pupil. Alright? I'll take you to the axe to show you right now. I have that because I farmed the dungeon a bunch. Alright. We go to the pupil. Alright. It's gonna need the Evil Eye Axe. The Evil Eye Axe is gonna take the same exact drops as the Rufu Evil Wand. The same one. There's no difference. Literally, no difference whatsoever. Go here and get this to 70. So, remember this. You need an extra 40 seedlings, so that's like 90 disease seedlings. You need an extra 45 Gloom Prophecies. So that's like, we already like farmed like what, 75 just for the wand? Now you need like an extra 45, so that's like 5. That's 110 Gloom Prophecies. Black Mouse Scales, an extra 50. That's gonna be 200, and if my calculations are going, 179, 170, 30, 200, 229 Black Mouse Scales, and 30 Gray Apples. So it's not fun. It's not fun, and 150 idamas. Yeah, pretty fun. Oh yeah, and by the way, these are it's not just 229 black mouse scales, it's 259 black mouse scales because this other one, this other normal, the other version of this normal version is gonna cost you the same one as the normal wand. You need another 10 gray apples, so that's 40 gray apples extra on what you already have. So if we count here, if I can find it. Yeah. Gray apples, 40, 50, 30, that's going to be 80. And then 77, 157 gray apples. So it's a very heavy farm. This weapon is a very, very heavy farm. But once you get this weapon, you should be good on your own to discover the rest of the wand, like and what you need to get for it. But honestly, if you're farming this weapon and you already got it, then you know what the hell you're gonna be doing on wand for the rest of the time on the game. Then you also have your earth, weapon. This drops from Visual Odin. So if you want to get it, like it's optional. It's level 119 minimum, but it's optional. It's a nice weapon if you want to get it. I'm not gonna stop you. Like, go farm it if you want to. The boss is weak to dark and rain, I think. Yeah, probably dark and rain. I don't remember. But yeah, this weapon, you like, you're not really like, you're not gonna farm it as much. But also, the only weapon we didn't talk about now is the Falling Star. I don't have any recipes for it. And the Falling Star is already a level 125 requirement weapon, so I'm pretty sure if you got your elsin and you're preparing for your Evil Eye, your Chaos Pupil, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be good to go on like understanding how to farm those weapons and how to get them. I really hope I didn't miss anything. Like I really hope I didn't, because I want to give you guys like the ultimate guide. Like this one, you're not gonna need like any other guide. Like this is the guide for you. So that's everything that I know about wand. I've been playing for a month. I searched really hard to find information, and I feel like I'm capable now of releasing a good wand guide for players. So if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, by all means, subscribe or drop a like or whatever. Um, if you have any questions, I'll be answering any comments that come on the video. And yeah, man, like enjoy, man. Wand is awesome. I hope more players, more Wand players will come in the game. It's a really good class. It's really fun, and it's really OP. As I told you, the elements go for everything. You can run it against any monster in the game. And also get your bargains daily from Moroku. Level up your Momotaru if you're having skill level up issues. And yeah, man. I'll see you guys later, I guess. Have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed.